Good morning, kids. Welcome back. Now let's continue. We were in the second chapter, Fractions and Decimals, exercise 2.4. So today, this exercise deals with division of fractions. Okay? So you have already done this topic in your previous classes. So now let's get a quick introduction to this topic and then do the exercise. So what do you mean by division? Let's take the first example as 10 divided by 2.
It means how many times does 2 go into 10? Now here's a fractions problem. 1/2 divided by 1/8. It means how many times does 1/8 go into 1/2? Let's work through this. If I have a whole cake and I divide it into eighths, there would be 8 equal pieces. We can all get our heads around that. But in this problem it says I only have 1/2 divided by 1/8. So I just want half of that cake in my diagram. You can see that in 1/2 we get 4 equal pieces of that 1/8 size. This means that 1/2 divided by 1/8 is 4. Okay, now we're going to get to a math method for dividing fractions using this example. The problem starts like this, but we have to do something to get the numbers to work so we can get to that answer of 4, which we already know is correct. What we do is a little bit of math manipulation. We flip this right-hand fraction over. This action has a couple of technical math names. It's called finding the reciprocal or the inverse. All we do is flip it over. Very easy. And when you invert the fraction like this, you also have to swap to the inverse operation. Inverse means opposite. The opposite of division is multiplication, so we swap the sign from divide to multiply. And you know how to multiply fractions. We reduce, then multiply, or we multiply, then reduce. Either way, you get the same result. I prefer to reduce first, so I divide by 2 because these are both even. And that gives us 1 here and 4 here. Now we multiply out, and that's 4 over 1. Any number over 1 equals the numerator as a whole number. 4, the same as we got using the diagram. That's pretty amazing. Using the diagram, we proved that 1/2 divided by 1/8 is 4, and now we have a math method to get us there easily without needing a diagram. So let's work another one, and this one a bit more tricky. 3/5 divided by 1/3. And remember, it means how many times does 1/3 go into 3/5? I'm not using a diagram for this one, straight to the math method instead. Our fraction on the left stays the same. We get the reciprocal of the right-hand fraction. We flip it, and that gives us 3 over 1. When we invert that fraction, we also use the inverse operation. Swap the sign from divide to multiply. Now, it's not possible to reduce this problem, so we're going to go straight to multiplying out. Top times top gives us 9 over bottom times bottom is 5. It's an improper fraction, and as you know, we can't leave it like that. We have to change it to a mixed number. So 5s into 9, that's one whole group of 5 and a remainder of 4. Put that back over the denominator of 5 and we're done. Our answer is 1 4/5. As you practice dividing fractions, you may get problems that work out giving you a whole number answer, like in our first example. Or you might get a fraction or a mixed number in your answer. Who knows what you'll get? But if you can work with this method and use your fraction skills from earlier lessons, you'll do great.
I hope that is clear. Now let's move on to the exercise 2.4. Let's continue with the first question. In exercise 2.4, your first question, second part is 14 divided by 5 by 6. Okay. Now, what will you do? You will firstly do the reverse of this. That is the reciprocal. So it will become 14, and the inverse of division, that is multiplication, and write the reciprocal like this. Right? Now, can you divide this anywhere? No. So the next one will be 14 into 6. That will be equal to 84. 84 divided by 5. Right? And the proper fraction will divide it. So we'll get this as 5 divided by 84. 1, 5. Right? And this is here is 34, 6, 30, and then 4. So the answer will be 16, 4 by 5. Right? Similarly, you can do all the questions of the first part. Now let's move on to the second one. Here it says to find the reciprocal of each of the following fractions. Classify the reciprocal as proper fraction, improper, and whole numbers. Okay, so let's here you have to find the reciprocal, right? So let's take the first part. The question is 3 by 7. Now you know what is the reciprocal of 3 by 7? It is 7 by 3, right? Now what is this? Is this a proper fraction, improper fraction, or a mixed fraction? It is improper. Fraction. Right? Now let's take the last question. That's the 7th question. Here it is 1 by 11. So the reciprocal of that will be 11, and this is a whole number, right? Whole number. Similarly, solve all the questions of the second part. Now the third part also is simple fractional divisions with a whole number. Let's do it. This third question, sixth part. So the question goes like 4, 3 by 7 divided by 7. So here we have a mixed fraction divided by a whole number. So firstly always convert the mixed fraction into improper fraction. Okay, so how to do? 31 divided by 7 divided by 7, right? So firstly convert it, take the inverse on the next step will be 31 divided by 7, right? It's in the same manner. Take the inverse of division, that is multiplication, and do the reciprocal of 1 by 7, that will be here. Okay, and the answer will be 31 divided by 49. Okay. Next question, that is the fourth one, is simple division of two fractions, right? So let's see how to do it. Question second part says 4 by 9 divided by 2 by 3. Okay, now the second step will be 4 by 9 inverse and reciprocal, and then solve it. 2, 3, right? So the answer will be 2 by 3. Simple. Second way of solving the same question will be by writing this, finding the inverse, and then doing the reciprocal, and then calculating this first. That will be equal to 12 by 18, and then solving it, that will be equal to 2 by 3. Okay. So fourth question, next part says 2 1 by 5 divided by 1 1 by 5. Firstly, convert each mixed fraction. So that is 11 by 5. I'm sorry. Divided by 6 by 5. Right? Then doing the inverse and the reciprocal. It is always better to solve it in this specific state and then solve it. So it is easy and you get the answer as 11 by 6. You can further solve it. It looks better. So the answer will be 1 pi by 6. So basically in the topic division of fractions, we deal with division of a whole number by a fraction, dividing a fraction by a whole number, or dividing one fraction by another fraction. So let's understand it better. So the first one says dividing a whole number by a fraction. So in this, we multiply the whole number with the reciprocal of the fraction. For example, 2 divided by 3 by 5. We take the reciprocal of 3 by 5, that is 5 by 3, and the inverse of division, that is multiplication, and the answer will be 10 by 3. In the case of dividing a fraction by a whole number, we multiply the fraction by the reciprocal of the whole number. That is 2 by 3 divided by 7. We'll write it as 2 by 3 multiplied by inverse of 7, that's 1 by 7, and the answer will be 2 by 21. While in the third case, that is division of one fraction by another fraction, we multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the other. That is 2 by 5 divided by 5 by 7, which will be equal to 2 by 5 multiplied by reciprocal of 5 by 7, that is 7 by 5, and the answer will be 14 by 5. So now to complete the exercise 2.4, if you have any doubt, you can get back to me.